What's going on, Gemini? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to your collective Gemini reading. Today we are going to be going into two different decks to see what it is that Spirit has in store for you, okay? We will be using the Thoth Tarot deck for one, and then we will also be going into the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck, okay? Your messages will be dropped on Thursdays, Gemini, and then you can come back on Fridays and get your elemental messages as well. So if those are things that you are wanting to keep up with, do make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I would hate for you to miss out on the tips, the gems, the clarifications and confirmations and things like that that are going to be dropped on this channel. These are collective messages, so they may or may not resonate with you. However, if at any time you feel like you need more assistance, guidance, or support with your personal energy, then please do make sure you click the link in the description area and book your one-on-one session or service there. I'll be glad to assist you, okay? Now, with that being said, let's get into the message. Let's bring that back. All thanks and praise to the Most High. You know their hearts and you know their situations. Can you please give us the cards that we need in order for us to be able to receive the message at hand with an open mind and an open heart? I ask that you give me the words to articulate this message as best as possible. I ask that you clear anything standing in the way of their clarification, confirmation, transformation, and healing at this time. Ashe. Close. All right, Spirit, what is it that you have for our Geminis? What is it that you want Geminis to know or be aware of at this time? Thank you. Spirit, what is it you have for Geminis at this time? We got an energy. I just need to get some more right quick. Thank you. Oh. Okay. Let's get like one or two more and then... You don't want to hear that shit. At the end of the beginning of the day. Okay, so Gemini, underneath it all right now, you have the Five of Wands. So this is talking about some internal conflict. And that internal conflict is like in what you should do or not. And it's still some more, right? Like this one's not necessarily internal conflict, which is the Nine of Wands. It's more so of not really transmuting energy from one side of the spectrum to the other, okay? So it's like, again, that internal conflict as to what you should do or not, or what you want to do or not. But your best bet is going to be to put life back into yourself. So however that shows up, whatever that looks like, it's time to start putting and pouring life back into yourself. It's time to start tapping into your inner child and start paying attention to your intuition, because they both got a whole lot to say at this time. Okay, and that's why the chaos, the confusion, the conflict is there, because it really wants you to be able to see things for more than how you've been seeing things. It's like there's always, what is the message? Like there's some mess in your madness. There's a message in your mess and madness, if I can say it like that. So don't be so caught up by what seems to be a problem all the time. Start really paying attention to like the solutions that present themselves, right? And don't be so emotionally attached to the solution, or I guess the outcome, right? Don't be so emotionally attached to the outcome, and really learn to accept things for pretty much what they are at this time. Not saying that it has to stay that way, but saying like if you accept it for what it is right now, then you can put yourself in a position to be able to move forward from that, okay? Now going into the message that we actually have on the table. Excuse me. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. First and foremost, you got the Seven of Wands in reverse, right? So that gives the energy, like I said, when I'm like, you ain't trying to hear this shit. Like, it's really you being closed off to, I guess, And it's crazy because most of the time you hear me saying the opposite, but it's really much so being you closed off to like these external influences, like you're resisting, being open or seeing things, hearing things, seeing things, receiving things from a different perspective. It's like it's my business, in which this is true. It's true, but you don't want to be closed off to like those outside perspectives, right? Because sometimes there comes a time at some time when we don't see things for what they are. So then spirit will send us these messengers, and these messengers are here to assist us. And the shit that they be saying, it'd be like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't care. Mind your business, right? But you have to understand, you want to understand, like, there's always some type of a message in it. So, yes, it may shake you up. Yes, it may make you feel some type of way. But spirit is sending you that energy. And, like, how can I describe it? It's really, popping up to show you, like, where you're settling for less, sort of kind of speak. And the reason why you probably get so agitated or aggravated when certain people say certain things about certain situations that you're going through is because you really know the truth already. You just don't want to hear it. Shit, let alone see it. You don't want to see it. You don't want to hear it, let alone, somebody else bringing this to your attention. Like, but they don't count them out. Right? Don't count them out. Maybe even if you don't want to hear it, you can ask more questions. Ask questions as to like, well, what makes you feel that way? Or why you say that, right? Just so that you can see things from a different perspective, or just so that you can like open your mind to being able to see the things that other people see. And it will then put you in a position to make better decisions and or choices for yourself. Not necessarily because of how they feel, or not even because of what they said, but because of how it made you feel, or because of what it did for you when that information was presented to you. Do you understand what I'm explaining? Because with this Four of Cups showing up, also love, with this Four of Cups showing up as well, it's like you're the one who, like, you playing with your emotions. You playing with your emotions more than anybody else involved in this situation. And you could be looking on the outside of yourself saying like, oh, they playing with me. Like, okay, they playing with me. They not playing with you. They're being themselves. Like, they being who they are. They doing what they do. They moving how they move. You're playing with yourself because you're having a different type of expectation of who this person is when they're clearly showing you who they are and or what they're about, right? And even if it's not a person, right, the situation, it's presenting itself as it should, and you're not really accepting it for what it is. You're so busy with this Five of Swords being here. You're so busy counting your own flaws, seeing what you're doing wrong, wondering what you can do better to make the situation all right. The only thing that you need to do and that you could do in this situation is free yourself so that you can be yourself wholeheartedly. For real and not for play. Like, you don't gotta show up and constantly be fixing you to make somebody else satisfied, right? Like, if you're fixing you fixing you should be for you and you only. And the people who accept you, they're going to be around you anyway. They're going to be there. If somebody's constantly complaining, nagging, bitching, showing a lack of appreciation, that's not a you issue. I don't care what you do. Whatever you do, they may not be satisfied. And if something that you does, brings some sort of satisfaction, it's temporary. So you have those energies of the people who will build you up to kind of like tear you down. You want to make sure that you're not doing that to yourself, right? You may look at it like it's somebody else doing it, but you know how they show up and they say people only do what you allow them to do, right? So if you're allowing a person to build you up and tear you down, yeah, it seems like them on the outside, but if you're allowing it to happen, that means that you're accepting that, okay, this person's going to build me up and then tear me down. I appreciate that. I accept that. And that's not what you want. Like, that's not what you want. So get clear, like, where are you settling in any type of way, shape, or form? Again, it can be a relationship with a person. It can be a relationship with your job. It can be a relationship with yourself. It's like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person to person. However, it's definitely making you feel some kind of way. And it's time for you to stop counting yourself out. It's time for you to stop beating yourself up. It's time for you to start living. It's time for you to start doing the things that actually raise your vibration, and know that it's okay to do that. Ain't no constantly going back and forth with yourself, like having to pick and choose what it is or what it ain't. Like, get in touch with yourself. Get in tune with yourself. Remember, your intuition and your inner child, they are speaking to you loud and clear. Listen. Are you willing to listen? That's it. All thanks and praise to the Most High. You know what they need out of this deck. Can you please give us the cards for Gemini to be able to receive the message at hand with an open mind and an open heart? You too. I think Libras just had this card as well. You got recovery. Whatever that was, it just flew out and almost smacked me. It feels like facade. And acceptance. What was that? Something else came out after acceptance. Wisdom. Okay. Recovery, facade, acceptance, wisdom. This is the energy of you, like, overcoming the shit of your past, right? Like, you moving it out of the way. There's an energy that shows up where it's like you're holding on to something. And even if it's subconsciously, it's like when you were younger, you experienced something and it obviously made you feel some type of way. So now you're moving and you're operating in a way to keep you to not experiencing that energy that you felt when you were younger because you didn't like it. And that's why this facade energy is showing up, because you're not really living like as you really want to right now. It's kind of like you're living in survival mode, right? Where it's like you're wanting to prevent, I guess, like yourself from having certain experiences or replaying or repeating certain experiences emotionally. But they do put you in a position to grow. Like, they put you in a position to be more aware of yourself, how to manage your emotions, what certain emotions mean, like why they're triggering you and stuff like that. So, and I think we talked a little bit about something, acceptance, like accepting things. It is what it is, right? So when it is what it is, you have to decide whether or not this is what you're wanting to deal with or tolerate, right? Because you really can't change other people, right? You can encourage or influence a shift within them, but ultimately they have to make that decision on their own, whether or not they're going to, do something different or be a different person, not even just for you, but for themselves. So accepting things for what they are and allowing them to be, and then you deciding on whether or not that's what you want to tolerate or that's what you're going to deal with. And then you also have wisdom, right? It's all around you. Like, it's within you, it's around you. You just have to tap into it. You are super intelligent. Like, you are smarter than you give yourself credit for. You're just, for lack of better words, kind of afraid in certain areas. And that's with this survival mode energy that pops up. You're just afraid in certain areas, and it keeps you operating in this place or this space or creating this life that is not even like your life. Like, it's this life that other people have created for you, and you just fit yourself inside their situation or circumstances, or you just fit yourself into where they want you to fit into their life, and it's not making you satisfied, right? And I can feel that. But that's why accepting it for what it is very important. And once you accept, like, okay, it is what it is, but I ain't about to deal with this shit, right? Or, okay, I can get jiggy with it. It is what it is. I accept it, and I'm cool with it. And if you're cool with it, you like get yourself out of the energy of complaining or, of being dissatisfied in a sense. But if you're unsatisfied, then you're the only one who can do something about it. And going back to that Princess of Wands, like, it's free yourself. Like, free yourself. Allow yourself to open up to everything that is pulling you in a high vibrational way, and letting go of the costume, letting go of, you know, the images that other people have placed upon you, or the images that other people believe about you, and then they're making you like believe these things about yourself as well. Yeah, so settling ain't it. Like, settling is not it. You know, constantly feeling some type of way, going back and forth with yourself. You gotta decide whether that's how you want to feel or not. Like that, the choice is yours, and you don't have to deal with it if you don't want to. Like you're the creator of your reality. Start creating the life that you want to live and being absolutely okay with it. But I am going to leave this here. This is the message that I have for y'all, Gemini. I definitely hope it brought some clarification, gave you some different type of insight somewhere. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Your messages, again, are dropped on Thursdays. And then Fridays, you can come back for your elemental messages. But with that being said, y'all do have the most amazing day possible. Day, evening, night, depending on when you come across this video. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.